Thai seems to be a very complicated language to learn, but that's because of the way it's traditionally taught. Most people seem to be overwhelmed by the many vowels and the different tones, and the fact that some consonant letters seem to have different sounds depending on whether they're at the beginning of the word or at the end of the word. Well, in actual fact, Thai is a very simple and consistent language. Unlike English, for instance, we have no standard way of pronouncing the different vowels in particular. Depending on whether you come from the southern states of America, or whether you come from the south of England, or the north of England, or Scotland, or Australia, each person from a different region pronounces the vowels completely differently. At least in Thai, every single vowel is consistent. It's pronounced only one way. So it's completely counterproductive to use English phonetic transliteration for each of the sounds in Thai. You really need to go to the source of the language and learn to read Thai, because every letter in Thai has only one sound. There are a few seeming exceptions, but if you really understand how Thai people pronounce the sounds, you will realize that every letter has actually only one sound. In this presentation, I'm only going to focus on the vowels. And what's important to understand about the vowels is to get the right shape of your mouth. Don't try to think in terms of English phonetic letters like A for air or E for air, because depending on where you come from, you will pronounce these sounds differently. But if you practice making the correct shape of your mouth and remembering the feeling of each shape, then you will pronounce Thai accurately and clearly so that Thai people can understand you. So what I'm going to do is exaggerate each sound so that you can really understand how to produce each sound yourself. And then we'll get my Thai friend to actually say the same sounds the Thai way. E, A, A, O, O, U. E, A, A, O, O, U. If you stand in front of a mirror and practice making the correct shapes when you produce the sounds, and developing a kind of muscle memory so that you can remember what the shape of each sound feels like, and then just practice making these shapes and sounds several times a day. Exaggerate the shapes and the sounds as much as you can. And in fact, if your mouth muscles aren't feeling sore and tired after a few minutes, then it means you're not saying the sounds correctly. E, E, A, 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 O, 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 U, U. I, I, E, 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 I, 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 E, 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 E. Uh, uh, I, ah, I, I, ah, ah. And that's it. It might take a few weeks of this kind of muscle training to develop the strength and dexterity of your muscles, but after a while it'll become automatic and you can sort of relax when you speak. But certainly in the beginning, until it starts to feel natural, make sure that you enunciate Thai in a very clear and exaggerated way. Enjoy!